Staring at the calendar, it's Monday, mid-July. The sun is far too bright for how I'm feeling deep inside. It's 2026 and they say the world has moved along, but I'm still trapped in the echoes of a fractured final song. I tried to glue the edges back to hide the jagged lines. I tried to tell my reflection that I'm doing mostly fine, but there's a shivering in my hands that I simply can't ignore. Since you walked out the hallway and you closed the heavy door. They say that time's a carpenter, fixing everything we break, but time is just a witness to the gravity of the ache. Some things don't just bend, they snap beneath the weight. And I think I finally realized that I'm staring at my fate, because some things stay broken forever. No matter what you do, there's no enough I'm sorry's to make me whole without you. It's not a temporary crack, it's not a season of the rain, it's a permanent architecture built out of the pain. You didn't just leave a bruise, you shattered the very soul, and now there aren't enough pieces left to ever make me roll. Yeah, the clock keeps on ticking, but the heart's under the lever, and I'm just gonna be broken. I'm broken forever. I saw you at the station with a suitcase and a smile, a look of pure liberation that I haven't seen in a while. And I wanted to be happy, wanted to be brave and tall, but I felt the foundation of my spirit start to fall. Every always that we whisper is a ghost in the guest room. Every forever is a flower that will never get to bloom. I'm a vessel with a hole that the ocean's pouring through, and I'm tired of pretending there's a version of me that's new. I'm not waiting for the healing, I'm not looking for the light, I'm just learning how to live inside an everlasting night. Some fires don't go out, they just turn the world to black, and there's no amount of wishing that can bring the colors back, because some things stay broken forever. No matter what you do, there's no enough I'm sorry's to make me whole without you. It's not a temporary crack, it's not a season of the rain, it's a permanent architecture built out of the pain. You didn't just leave a bruise, you shattered the very soul, and now there aren't enough pieces left to ever make me roll. Yeah, the clock keeps on ticking, but the heart's under the lever, and I'm just gonna be broken. I'm broken forever. Don't tell me it'll pass, don't tell me I'll forget. I'm drowning in the middle of a life I haven't finished yet. It's in the marrow of my bones, it's in the way I breathe. It's the permanent shadow that you didn't think to leave. I'm a ruined cathedral, I'm a city in the dust, I'm the casualty of everything I ever dared to trust. Instrument to cringe, a soaring weeping cello solo that climbs into a high, desperate cry before falling into a low, somber vibration. Yeah, some things stay broken forever, and I'm one of those things. I'm a bird with a leaden heart and two forgotten wings. It's not a temporary crack, it's not a season of the rain, it's the rest of my existence lived inside this cold refrain. You didn't just leave a bruise, you shattered the very soul, and I've accepted that I'm never gonna be quite whole. Yeah, the world keeps on turning, it's so clever and so ever, but I'm just gonna stay broken. I'm broken forever. No glue, no grace, just the empty air where I used to see your face. Forever is a long time to be this way. Broken. Streetlights blur past my window pane. Another night I whisper your name. The pillow's still cold where you used to lie, a silent witness to every tear I cry. I see your shadow in every open door, and realize I can't do this anymore. Forgive me once, it's all I'm asking for, before you close the final heavy door. My heart's a shattered glass across the floor. Oh, how I wish I could love you more, but the words I couldn't say tore us apart, leaving behind this broken, empty heart. The coffee cup you left still holds the ring, a ghost of the joy you used to bring. Play our song, but the music's hollow now, a painful echo of a broken vow. I replay the moments, the fights, the fall, knowing my silence was the worst of them all. Forgive me once, that's all I'm asking for, before you close the final heavy door. My heart's a shattered glass across the floor. Oh, how I wish I could love you more,
They say time heals all wounds, but I'm not sure it can. Now when the damage was done by my own hand, I took your love for granted, a selfish fool, now living in this lonely, bitter pool. If I could rewind the clock just for one day, I'd find the courage, find the words to say. Forgive me once, that's all I'm asking for, before you close the final heavy door. My heart's a shattered glass across the floor. Oh, how I wish I could love you more, but the words I couldn't say tore us apart, leaving behind this broken, empty heart. Forgive me once, I'll wait for your reply underneath this cold and empty sky. Maybe someday you'll understand. Maybe someday I'll be a better man. The lights are fading, and so is the sound. Just broken pieces on the ground, fade out with a final somber piano chord. I'm standing on the sidewalk of the street we used to own, in a city that feels crowded, but I've never been so alone. The world is moving on to something new, but I'm still stuck in the hallway of the life I had with you. I saw your silhouette against the blinds of our old room tonight, and I almost reached for my keys before I remembered I lost the right. I know I let the fire die, I know I let the shadows in. I'm the architect of the ruin, the pioneer of the sin. I've spent 1,000 mornings rehearsing what I'd say if I ever had the courage to just stand inside your way. I tell you that the silence is a weight I cannot bear, and I'm choking on the oxygen in this empty, lonely air. I took your trust for granted, I treated love like it was gold, that would never lose its luster, never tarnish, never grow. But now I'm looking at the rust on the promises I made, sitting in the winter of a self-inflicted shade. I'm not the man I was when I walked out of that door. I've learned what empty means, and I can't take it anymore. I'm begging at the altar of the heart I threw away, just looking for a reason for the sun to hit the day. Oh, darling, give me a second chance, give me a grain of hope. I'm a man without a mountain, I'm a climber without a rope. I'll
curtains. I see you've painted the gate. Is it a sign that I'm too late? Is it a seal upon my fate? I wanna be the light that wakes you up at 7:30. I wanna be the one who leads you back to our own heaven. I'm not asking for a miracle, I'm not asking for the moon. I'm just asking for a chance to get our hearts back into tune. I've got a lifetime of I'm sorry's and a chest full of regret, and I'm not ready to be the person that you need to forget. I'll be the one who's always standing right by your side. Don't turn the light out, don't close the book. Just give me one more look. Just one more try. I'll be the man you deserve. I'll give you the world and every ounce of my nerve. And I'm still waiting at your door. Give me a second chance, and I'll never leave you anymore. Checking the locks on the windows in the morning, but I'm still losing again. I've scrubbed all the floors and I've painted the walls a different shade, trying to bury the ghost of the beautiful mess we made. But the air in the kitchen still tastes like the tea that you liked. and the floorboards still groan in the rhythm of your step in the night. They told me a word is a breath that just vanishes into the blue. But goodbye stayed behind, and it's living here instead of you. It didn't leave when you drove down the street. It didn't die when we stopped being sweet. It's a permanent tenant, it's paying its rent in every single second of the time that we spend. Because goodbye still lies in the corner of the room. It's the shadow that's hiding behind the jasmine in bloom. It's not a memory, it's a heartbeat that won't ever stop. It's the sound of the silence before the final glass had to drop. I've tried to evict it, I've tried to move on with my life, but it cuts through the morning like a jagged and rusted out knife. You left me for dead, and you left me with secrets to keep. But goodbye still lives, and it never goes to sleep. I saw you at the station, or someone who shared your stride. I felt the old panic come rushing back deep from inside. I almost called out, but the syllable died in my throat, like a heavy lead weight in the pocket of my winter coat. It's 2026 and the world is so busy and loud, but I'm still a man trapped under a one-person clown. You walked into the sunlight, you found a new path to the shore, but you left your departure sitting right here on my floor. It's a guess that won't go, it's a flame that won't die. It's the never again in the back of a hollowed out why. It's a map with no exit, a book with no final page, just a bird with no sky sitting still in a wide open cage. Because goodbye still lies in the corner of the room. It's the shadow that's hiding behind the jasmine in bloom. It's not a memory, it's a heartbeat that won't ever stop. It's the sound of the silence before the final glass had to drop. I've tried to evict it, I've tried to move on with my life, but it cuts through the morning like a jagged and rusted out knife. You left me for dead, and you left me with secrets to keep. But goodbye still lives, and it never goes to sleep. It's in the way that I breathe, it's in the way that I wake. It's the only thing left of the heart that you decided to break. It's not a word, it's a person, it's a presence, it's cold. It's the only story that I'm ever gonna be told. Leave me alone, let the shadows just fade. But goodbye is the only thing that actually stayed.
goes to sleep. The house is so quiet, I'm trying to scream, but I'm starting a riot of one. Still here, still hurts, but goodbye still lives.
A slow, deliberate piano melody begins. The notes are heavy, played with a slight delay that feels like a hesitation. A faint, weeping cello enters, creating a low, vibrating hum of regret.
The apology is written on the steam of the shower glass, watching the minutes and the hours of our wreckage pass. I'm retracing the steps to the moment I let you down, while the weight of my choices is the only sound in town. It's 2026 and I should have grown by now. I should have known the weight of every broken vow, but I'm standing in the kitchen, staring at your empty chair, breathing in the ghost of you that's lingering in the air. I saw the way your eyes went dark when I spoke those words, the kind of jagged edges that are only meant for birds to fly away and never look back at the mess I made, while I'm left here shivering in a self-inflicted shade. I'm the architect of this winter, I'm the bringer of the rain, territory of your pain. I can't even look in the mirror without seeing the light of the man who promised you he'd never make you cry. I'm not looking for a way out, I'm not looking for a plea, I'm just drowning in the truth of the man I turned out to be. The I'm sorry's are like stones in a river that's gone dry, and I'm just waiting for the earth to look me in the eye. 'Cause I know I'm wrong, I've known it all along. I'm the broken note in the middle of our song. I took your silver heart and I turned it into lead. I'm the one who walked away from everything we said. There's no excuse to offer, there's no shadow left to hide. I'm just the wreckage of a man with nothing on the inside. It's a bitter pill to swallow, it's a heavy road and long, but God, it kills me just to say I know I'm wrong. I passed our old apartment and I saw a different light. Someone else is laughing in our corner booth tonight. They don't know that I'm the villain in the story of this street, the one who took a perfect thing and made it incomplete. I wanna call and tell you that I've changed, that I've learned, but I'm standing in the ashes of the bridges that I burned. You're better off without the storm that follows where I go.
And that's the hardest kind of truth a man can ever know. Is there a mercy for the one who caused the crack? Is there a road that leads a broken spirit back? Or am I just a lesson that you had to live through? A ghost in the rear view of the life that's meant for you. I'm screaming at the ceiling, I'm begging for the blame. Anything to stop the way I'm burning at your name. In the middle of our song, I took your silver heart and I turned it into lead. I'm the one who walked away from everything we said. There's no excuse to offer, there's no shadow left to hide. I'm just the wreckage of a man with nothing on the inside. It's a bitter pill to swallow, it's a heavy road and long, but God, it kills me just to say I know I'm wrong. I'm wrong for the silence, I'm wrong for the noise, I'm wrong for the way I broke all our joys. It's 46, and I'm finally owning the dark. I'm sorry, my love, for extinguishing the spark. I know I know digging through the boxes in the corner of the attic, through the Polaroid dreams and the radio static. It's toward 26 and the world is moving fast, but I'm a citizen of a city in the past. I found that old concert stuff from the night it started to rain, when we shared a single jacket and forgot about the pain. We had $24 in a tank half full of gas, back when the future was a mountain we were never gonna pass. I walked past that diner on the corner of 4th Street, where the coffee tasted bitter but the company was sweet. They've painted over the table where you carved out our names. Everything is different, but the ghost of us remains. We didn't have a plan, we didn't have a clue. We just had a rhythm that was honest, deep and true. Now I'm surrounded by the things we worked so hard to buy, but I'd trade them all away for a piece of that July. The colors were brighter, the air was more clear, before the some days turned into a yesteryear. Now I'm looking at the clock, but
to the simple kind of love that we never knew we'd lack. Oh, I miss our old time, the way it used to be, before the weight of the world got a hold of you and me. When a Sunday afternoon was a kingdom in our hands, before we built our houses on the shifting desert sands. I don't miss the money, I don't miss the place, I just miss the way the light used to land upon your face. In that beautiful, broken and unpolished rhyme, God, I miss our old time. Now we're sitting at the table in a house that's far too quiet, with a scheduled out life and a low sodium diet. We're careful with our words, and we're careful with our hearts, living out the ending of a story in two parts. I saw you look at me today, and for a second I could see the version of the girl who used to run away with me. But the 2026 sun is setting in your eyes, and the 2024 dreams are just a series of goodbyes. Take me back to the 3 a.m. drives, to the messy, chaotic, and beautiful lives. Before we were perfect, before we were done, back when we were chasing the setting of the sun. I'd rather be broke and be laughing with you than be standing in this palace with nothing left to do. Was a kingdom in our hands, before we built our houses on the shifting desert sands. I don't miss the money, I don't miss the place, I just miss the way the light used to land upon your face. In that beautiful, broken and unpolished rhyme, God, I miss all the time. Just you and me in that beat-up car, wondering how we ever got this far. I miss the then, I miss the us, before the gold turned into dust. I miss our old time. I miss our old time. morning, January 2026. The world is moving forward with a rhythm I can't fix. I'm standing at the window, watching shadows on the street, while the coffee's getting colder and the silence feels complete. I reach across the kitchen for a hand that isn't there. I'm catching only gravity in frozen winter air. I used to know exactly where my north was supposed to be, but you took the map and compass when you turned your back on me. I'm a pilot in the fog with no signal from the ground. I'm a whisper in a canyon that can't find a single sound. Every street we used to walk feels like a maze I can't escape, since our always took a different, jagged kind of shape. And I'm lost without you, drifting in the gray, counting all the minutes that I've thrown my soul away. I'm a ship without a harbor, I'm a star without a sky, just a hollowed out hello, looking for a goodbye. The house is full of echoes and the bed is far too wide. I'm drowning in the memory of the lie you had inside. I don't know who I am or what I'm supposed to do. God, I'm just so lost, so lost without you. I saw a coat that looked like yours at the station yesterday. I almost called your name before the feeling fell away. I'm a ghost inside a body that's forgotten how to move. I'm a record with a needle stuck deep inside the groove. I buy the groceries for two, and then I realize what I've done. I'm still living for a we, when I'm the only one. There's a hole where my tomorrow was, a gap inside my chest, and I'm failing every single simple everyday test. I'm a kite with no string, dancing on the gale. I'm a story with no ending, just a weary winding trail. I've forgotten how to breathe without the rhythm of your heart. Now I'm just a collection of some broken, lonely parts, and I'm lost without you, drifting in the gray, counting all the minutes that I've thrown my soul away. I'm a ship without a harbor, I'm a star without a sky, just a hollowed out hello, looking for a goodbye. The house is full of echoes and the bed is far too wide. I'm drowning in the memory of the light you had inside. I don't know who I am or what I'm supposed to do. God, I'm just so lost without you. Was I so defined by you that I've vanished into thin? Is this the terrifying place where the nothingness begins? I'm screaming
emotional solo that sounds like it's weeping, fading into a single high note. Yeah, I'm lost without you, drifting in the gray, watching every color of my life just fade away. I'm a ship without a harbor, I'm a star without a sky, just a long and lonely ride to a short and cold goodbye. The hallway is a desert and the nights are way too long since I lost the only person who ever knew my song. I don't know where I'm going or what I'm supposed to do. God, I'm just so lost, so lost without you. Still looking for your keys, still waiting by the phone. It's a different kind of quiet when you're this much alone. I'm still here, but I don't know where here is. I'm lost. Looking at the calendar, at a life I cannot fix. The frost is on the window where you used to trace my name. But the glass is cold and empty, and nothing feels the same. I'm sitting in the quiet of a house that's grown too big, watching winter branches snap like a brittle, broken twig. You said that we were written in the language of the stars, but now I'm just a prisoner behind these silver bars. I was waiting for the moment when the memory would fade, for the sun to finally set on every promise that we made. But the clock is moving forward while I'm frozen in the past, trying to make a heartbeat out of something meant to last. Because I love you endlessly, even though you're miles away from me. It's a river with no ocean, it's a sky without a floor, it's a heart that keeps on knocking at a locked and bolted door. They told me love was healing, they told me love was kind, but it's a ghost that follows me and leaves the world behind. I'm a shadow in the hallway of a life that used to be, stuck in a love that loves you endlessly. I see you in the city, or the ghost of who you were. Everything is sharper now, a terrifying blur. You're wearing that old sweater, the one with the frayed sleeve, the one you wore the night you said you didn't want to leave. But you left me with the always, you left me with the more, you left me with the forever that's been washed upon the shore. I try to find a reason to let the
the fire die. But there's a million I love yous hidden in every goodbye. And I'm tired of the people telling me that I'll be fine, that I'll find a new direction and a different finish line. But my map is just a circle and my compass only knows the rhythm of a spirit that follows where you go. Because I love you, I love you endlessly, even though you're miles away from me. It's a river with no ocean, it's a sky without a floor, it's a heart that keeps on knocking at a locked and bolted door. They told me love was healing, they told me love was kind, but it's a ghost that follows me and leaves the world behind. I'm a shadow in the hallway of a life that used to be, stuck in a love that loves you endlessly. Is it a blessing or is it a curse to have a heart that's getting better at feeling worse? I'm shouting at the ceiling, I'm begging for a spark, but your love is just a lantern that went out inside the dark. Stop the rhythm, stop the clock, let the silence take its toll. How do I stop a love that's written in the marrow of my soul? It's 2026. The snow is falling slow. I've got nowhere to be and nowhere left to go. Still here, still you, endlessly, endlessly. And I'm looking for the moment that we couldn't fix. It wasn't a landslide, it wasn't a sudden storm. It was just the way the coffee went from hot to lukewarm. We didn't wake up strangers in a single bitter night. We just stopped noticing the fading of the light. a little less laughter, a little more space, until I couldn't find the us behind your face. We didn't crash into the ocean or burn up in the sun. We just unraveled slowly, one thread at a time, until we were done. It was the quietest disaster that the world has ever known. Just two people in a house, feeling more and more alone. And our love fell apart slowly, like a house on the coast, losing a little more ground to the things we feared the most. A word left unspoken, a hand pulled away, 1,000 small goodbyes leading up to today. It wasn't a tragedy you could see from the street, just the sound of two hearts losing their rhythm and beat. I didn't hear the breaking, I didn't feel the blow, because love fell apart slowly, and I was the last to know. I found a receipt from a dinner 3 years back, when we were still running on a different kind of track. We were talking about the future like it was a solid thing, before the winter settled in and killed the coming spring. Now the closet is a little too empty, the hallway's too wide, and I'm drowning in the silence of the things we kept inside. You didn't pack in a hurry, you didn't leave in a rage, you just slowly turned the corner and walked off of the page. It was a leak in the roof, it was a crack in the wall, it was a million tiny steps leading up to the fall. We thought we were steady, we thought we were deep, but we were just two tired souls falling into a sleep. And our love fell apart slowly, like a house on the coast, losing a little more ground to the things we feared the most. A word left unspoken, a hand pulled away, 1,000 small goodbyes leading up to today. It wasn't a tragedy you could see from the street, just the sound of two hearts losing their rhythm and beat. I didn't hear the breaking, I didn't feel the blow, because love fell apart slowly, and I was the last to know. I would have fought for a fire, I would have died for a spark, but how do you fight against the creeping of the dark? How do you mend a heart that didn't shatter, but just thin, like a prayer that was whispered and lost to the wind? It's the erosion of the spirit, it's the rusting of nothing left to show but the architecture of pain. A door left ajar, a look that went cold. The saddest story that has ever been told. It wasn't a tragedy you could see from the street, just the sound of two hearts losing their rhythm and beat. I didn't hear the breaking, I didn't feel the blow, because love fell apart slowly. There it fell apart slowly. Dust on the mantle, a ghost in the chair. I'm reaching for something that was never quite there. One grain at a It's Monday morning, January 2026. Looking at the pictures that I didn't have the heart to fix. We're smiling in the frames, but the glass is cracked and thin. A warning of the storm that was always coming in. We called it a sanctuary, we called it a home, but we were just two wanderers who felt more alone when we were together than when we were apart, feeding on the fragments of a dying, desperate heart. We thought the fire would warm us through the night, but it only burned the things we kept inside the light. We didn't fall in love, we fell into a trap, and every bridge we built just fell into the gap. Oh, it was the love that hurt us, the love that brought us low, the kind of heavy weather that wouldn't let us grow. It wasn't the distance, and it wasn't the lies. It was the way we looked at life through each other's eyes. We held on so tight that we started to bleed, mistaking our hunger for everything we need. I'm picking up the pieces of the us that couldn't trust, because the love that hurt us just turned us into dust. I see the way you're moving now, a little less weighed down, like you finally took off that heavy silver crown. We were addicted to the drama, the highs and the lows, the way a winter garden only ever grows the snow. I tried to be your savior, you tried to be my priest, but the ghost of our affection was a terrifying beast. We were two drowning swimmers, trying to catch a breath, holding on to one another till we faced the lonely death. I'm not crying for the end,
I'm crying for the start, for the way we let the poison settle in the heart. We gave it every hour till there was no time left to say. And we turned a beautiful thing into a quiet, narrow grave. Oh, it was the love that hurt us, the love that brought us low, the kind of heavy weather that wouldn't let us grow. It wasn't the distance, and it wasn't the lies. It was the way we looked at life through each other's eyes. We held on so tight that we started to bleed, mistaking our hunger for everything we need. I'm picking up the pieces of the us that couldn't trust, because the love that hurt us just turned us into dust. Certain dreams is hard to just exist. It shouldn't feel like a punch from a velvet fist. We were beautiful disasters. We were stars about to burst. And I don't know which one of us was feeling it the worst. Let go the anchor, let go the chain. There's no glory in this kind of beautiful pain. Finally letting go of the us that couldn't trust, because the love that hurt us just turned us into dust. Clean air in the hallway, no more ghosts in the sink. It's finally quiet enough for me to actually think. It hurt us, didn't it? Yeah. The love that hurt us. It's Monday morning, January 2026. I'm staring at the coffee cup I haven't dared to fix. I still reach for the sugar on your side of the shelf. Then I catch my own reflection and I'm startled by myself. The news is on the television talking about the snow, but I'm still stuck in a summer from a lifetime ago. I found your yellow hair tied in the cushion of the chair, and for a split second I could smell you in the air. They say the sharpest edges are supposed to wear down thin, but every morning is a battle that I'm never gonna win. It's not a sudden landslide or a crashing of the sea. It's just the slow and steady way you're leaving me. And I'm missing you daily, in the hollow of the day, in the simple little things that I don't know how to say. It's the silence in the hallway, it's the shadow on the floor, it's the way I keep on looking for your shadow at the door. It's a dull and constant aching, it's a rhythm in my chest, a heart that's always waking when it needs to take a rest. The world is moving forward, acting like it's all okay, but I'm missing you daily, in every single way. I saw a car that looked like yours at the light on 4th and Vine. I felt that old familiar sparkle racing down my spine. I almost pulled my phone out just to send a stupid text about the movie we were planning or the city we'd see next. But the light turned green and the ghost of you drove on, and I'm reminded for the 1000th time that you are really gone. I buy the bread you liked, even though I hate the crust, just to keep a little piece of us from turning into dust. It's a habit I can't break, it's a song I can't unlearn, it's the ghost of a fire that's still looking for a place to burn. I'm tired of the people telling me that I'll be fine when I'm losing my mind, 1 second at a time. Because I'm missing you daily, in the hollow of the day, in the simple little things that I don't know how to say. It's the silence in the hallway, it's the shadow on the floor, it's the way I keep on looking for your shadow at the door. It's a dull and constant aching, it's a rhythm in my chest, a heart that's always waking when it needs to take a rest. The world is moving forward, acting like it's all okay, but I'm missing you daily, in every single way. I'm a book with no light, I'm a Tuesday afternoon that feels like the middle of the night. I don't want a new story, I don't want a new start, I just want the missing piece of my shattered, lonely heart. Yeah, I'm missing you daily, in the hollow of the day, in the simple little things that I don't know how to say. It's the silence in the hallway, it's the shadow on the floor, it's the way I keep on looking for your shadow at the door. It's a dull and constant aching, it's a rhythm in my chest, a heart that's always waking when it needs to take a rest. The world is moving forward, every single way. Sun's going down again. The moon is on its way. Just another 24 hours of finding things to say. Missing you tomorrow. Missing you today. Day.
I woke up and reached for the space beside my own, but the sheets are cold as winter, and I'm waking up alone. It's Monday, January 12th, the year is 2026, and I'm staring at a life that all my wishing cannot fix. The house is full of blueprints for a world we never built, for the garden in the backyard and the secrets in the quilt. I see the dusty luggage and the tickets in the drawer to a coastline that we'll never get to walk on anymore. We weren't just passing through the years, we were aiming for the sky, building up a castle on a beautiful blue light. Now the scaffolding is falling and the dust begins to rise as the future we were promised disappears before my eyes. And this is the end of dreams, the death of one day soon. I'm watching all our always fade beneath the waning moon. It's not just a goodbye, it's a funeral for the life where I was finally yours and you were finally my wife. The children we had named, the porch where we'd grow old, are just stories in the dark that will never now be told. It's the quietest of tragedies, the tearing of the seams. God, it hurts to be away at the end of dreams. I saw you in the city, looking focused, looking new, like you'd scrubbed away the color of the world I shared with you. You're moving through the present like the past was just a ghost, while I'm still tethered to the phantom that I love the most. I found the wedding guest list tucked inside a shoebox lid, thinking of the I-dos that we never actually did. I'm a gardener in a desert, watering the stone in a kingdom made of memories that I rule all alone. I'm waiting for the morning where I don't see your face, in every empty corner and every hollow space. But the hope is just a poison that I've learned to drink so deep, and I'm terrified of waking from a world I couldn't keep. And this is the end of dreams, the death end of dreams. How do I know the way you look at dawn? How do I unwind the life that's filing on? I'm screaming at the blueprints, I'm burning down the plans, watching 60 years of us slip through my trembling hands. It wasn't just a breakup, it was arson of a soul. And there's nothing left to save, and there's nothing left to hold. Yeah, this is the end. Dreams are closing up the gate. I'm standing in the wreckage of a common cruel fate. It's not just a departure, it's the murder of the we, the version of the world that was meant for you and me. The silver in our hair, the laughter in the hall, are just shadows on the floor and pictures on the wall. It's the loudest kind of silence, the breaking of the beams. God, it hurts to be awake at the end of dreams. The 2026 sun is rising, but it's darker than before. I'm folding up the map, and I'm locking up the door. No more someday, no more us, just the ash and the dust. The end of dreams. The end of dreams. The end of It's Monday morning, January 2026. The winter sun is cold, playing shadows and tricks. I'm sitting on the porch where we used to watch the rain, tracing out the patterns of a familiar kind of pain. The suitcase by the door didn't make a sound. As the life we built together hit the frozen ground. No shouting matches, no bitterness or spite, just the heavy realization that we'd run out of light. I was waiting for the fire, I was waiting for the storm. The air was only chilly where it used to be so warm. We looked at one another like two strangers on a train, knowing that the sunshine couldn't wash away the stain. And the goodbye we shared was the hardest part of all, because it didn't feel like a wreckage, it felt like I fall into a quiet canyon where the echoes never end, watching the lover slowly turn back into a friend. There were no jagged edges, just a soft and final no, as we loosened up the fingers and we let the future go. I'm standing in the hallway where the memories used to flare, but the goodbye we shared left nothing but the air. You took your favorite records and the coat with the frayed sleeve, the one I always told you that you shouldn't ever leave. I watched you from the window as you reached the garden gate. You didn't look like someone who was struggling with fate. I wanted to be angry, I wanted to be loud, but I'm just a lonely shadow underneath a silver cloud. We've spent 1,000 nights trying to find the words to stay, but we used them all up just to walk the other way. I was waiting for a maybe, I was waiting for a wait, but we'd already surrendered to the gravity of fate. It was a mercy killing of a heart that couldn't be, and the silence of the ending was a bitter kind of sweet. And the goodbye we shared was the hardest part of all, because it didn't feel like a wreckage, it felt like a fall into a quiet canyon where the echoes never end, watching the lover slowly turn back into a friend. And there were no jagged edges, just a soft and final no, as we loosened up the fingers and we let the future go. I'm standing in the hallway where the memories used to flare, but the goodbye we shared left nothing but the air. Is it worse when it's gentle? Is it worse when it's kind? When there's nothing left to scream at in the corners of your mind? I wanted a tragedy, I wanted a scene, to prove that there was something left of everything we'd been. But we just leaned our foreheads together in the dark and let the final ember die without a single spark. Yeah, the goodbye we shared was the hardest part of all, because it didn't feel like a wreckage, it felt like a fall into a quiet canyon where the echoes never end, watching a lover slowly turn back into a friend. No slamming doors or broken glass, just a whisper in the hall as we let the curtain finally mercifully fall. I'm standing in the kitchen, but you're no longer there, and the goodbye we share is more than I can bear. The kettle's whistling, but the house is still. I'm trying to forget you, but I don't think I will. We're so quiet. The goodbye we shared. God, I wish you'd stayed. We're sitting on a sofa that's seen better years, but the fabric is soaked in 1,000 silent tears. I reach for the remote just to find some white noise to drown out the ghost of our girls and our boys, or the versions of us that we used to believe before we learned how to lie, how to deceive. The coffee table's a desert, wide and immense, and every word spoken comes at a heavy expense. You're looking at your phone like it's a window to a life where I'm not your burden and you're not my strife. There's a wall in this room that no mason could build, made of every promise that we never fulfilled. It's thick and it's cold and it's jagged and gray, and it's growing by inches with every passing day. I wanna reach through it, I wanna break down the stone, but I'm scared of the person I'll find there alone. It's not the miles that keep us apart, it's the scar tissue wrapped around the beat of your heart. It's the static in the air, it's the salt in the sea, it's everything standing between you and me. Oh, it's the hurt between us, the space in the middle, a lock with no key, a dark bitter riddle. It's the weight of the sorry that never was said. It's the ghost of the lovers who died in our bed. We're reaching across a canyon of glass, watching the wreckage of our history pass. I can see your hand, but I can't feel the skin, because the hurt between us won't let me back in. No, the hurt between us won't let me back in. Remember the days when the air was so thin, because we were breathing each other's oxygen. Now the atmosphere's heavy, it's harder to lung, with the taste of the poison that stayed on our tongue. Every I love you feels like a threat or a desperate attempt to settle a debt. We're bankrupt in spirit, we're hollow in soul, just two broken halves that won't make a whole. If I could scream loud enough to shatter the air, would you look up and notice that I'm actually there? Or have we become so accustomed to pain that we've learned how to dance in the acid rain? Tear down the barrier, burn down the gate,
before all the love is consumed by the weight of the almost, the nevers, and the too goddamn late. Because the hurt between us won't let me back in. It's a wide, empty ocean. It's a dark, hollow street. It's the bitterest victory and the loudest defeat. I'm whispering please, but the wall is too high, and the hurt between us is our only goodbye. The hurt between us.
I used to find my North Star in the hollow of your neck. I was a storm-tossed sailor, and you were my safe deck. It didn't matter where we stood or where we laid our heads. The world was just a backdrop to the life that we had led. Your voice was like a fireplace when the winter winds would blow, a place where I could shed my skin and let the embers glow. But lately when I look at you, the windows have gone dark, and I'm shivering in the driveway, looking for a spark. Coffee stains have faded into white, and I can't find the hallway in the middle of the night. I reach for your shoulder, but it feels like brick and stone, like a monument to someone that I used to have known. We're still sharing the kitchen, we're still sharing the bed, but we're just two tenants with nothing left to be said. The foundation is shifting, the roof is caving in, and I don't know where the shelter ends and the storm begins. It's not about the taxes or the keys or the lawn, it's the feeling of belonging that's suddenly gone. I'm standing in the center of the life we used to own, but I've never felt more like a stranger in a zone. Oh, we lost our home in each other. There's no roof to keep us from the rain. We're just two wanderers under a different cover, trying to find a way to numb the pain. I used to run to you to hide away from the world, but now you're the edge where the flags are unfurled. The doors are all locked and the porch light is blown. God, it's a tragedy to be this alone. Now that we lost our home in each other. I saw you in the mirror, and when I didn't know the face, the one that used to be my only saving grace. Your touch used to feel like a welcome back sign. Now it feels like a border or a jagged thin line. We're packing up the spirits, we're clearing out the heart, watching the architecture of us fall completely apart. It's a different kind of homeless, it's a soul deep wandering, watching the death of every beautiful thing. Where do I go when the refuge is gone? How do I breathe in the cold gray dawn? I've got the address, I've got the zip code, but I'm just a ghost on a long empty road. You were my sanctuary, you were my peace. Now I'm just a prisoner begging for release from a house that's not a home anymore. Oh, we lost our home in each other. There's no roof to keep us from the rain. We're just two wanderers under different cover, trying to find a way to numb the pain. I used to run to you to hide away from the world, but now you're the edge where the flags are unfurled. The doors are all locked and the porch light is blown. God, it's a tragedy to be this alone. Now that we lost our home and each other, I'm handing back the memories, I'm leaving the light on, but the us that lived here is already gone. I'm looking for a place to stay, a place to rest my head, but I'll never find another in the things we left unsaid. We lost our home. In each other. I wore that blue dress you said was your favorite shade, the one from the summer when our first vows were made. I stood in the doorway while the sun hit the floor, waiting for the look you used to give me before. You walked right past me to find your car keys, like I was a ghost or a stir in the breeze. No, you look lovely, no spark in your eye, just a hollow I'm late and a mumbled goodbye. I'm standing in color, vivid and bright, but I'm fading to gray in your filtered out light. I cut my hair short, then I grew it out long.
I learned how to sing your most difficult song. I left little notes on the glass of the sink, trying to pull us back from the edge of the brink. But your gaze always lands just an inch to the left of the woman you loved, of the life we bereft. You look through my shoulders at the clock on the wall, as if I'm a shadow that's starting to fall. It's not that you're angry, it's not that you're mean, it's just that I've lived here and haven't been seen. The most painful kind of lonely is the one in a crowd, when the person who knows you feels like a cloud, obscuring the sun, keeping the cold, leaving the stories we started untold. Oh, the world didn't end with a bang or a cry. It ended the moment I looked in your eye and saw only a stranger, a blank empty screen where a reflection of us should have easily been. I'm screaming in silence, I'm waving my hands like a shipwrecked soul on the loneliest sands. I didn't go missing, I didn't flee, but everything changed when you stopped seeing me. Yeah, you stopped seeing me. I sat at the table and I let a tear fall. It traced a slow line, but you saw nothing at all. You asked if it's raining, you looked at the sky, while the salt of my heart was right there in my eye. I could be a mountain, I could be a flame, I could be a whisper of your secret name, but I'm just a fixture, a lamp or a chair, a part of the room that you know is just there. Am I becoming transparent? Am I becoming thin? Is the air moving through where my heart should have been? I'm shouting, I'm here, till my throat starts to bleed, but you're looking for something that I'll never exceed. I'm right in front of you. Look at my face before I disappear without leaving a trace. Don't let me vanish, don't let me go, but you're already looking at the next empty show. Oh, the world didn't end with a bang or a cry. It ended the moment I looked in your eye and saw only a stranger, a blank empty screen where a reflection of us should have easily been. I'm screaming in silence, I'm waving my hands like a shipwrecked soul on the loneliest sands. I didn't go missing, don't let it flee, but everything changed when you stopped seeing me. I'm turning the light out, I'm closing the door. I don't think I'm living in here anymore. You'll come home tonight, You'll sit on the bed. You'll probably notice the silence instead, but you won't notice me, because you stopped seeing me a long time ago.
The world spins fast, but my heart is stuck in place, haunted by the memory of your face. Every sunrise hurts, another day you're gone, another lonely battle I have fought and lost and won. I trace the lines on photographs we took, reading every chapter of our favorite book. And I remember smiling, how easy it used to be, when I thought forever meant you and me. 'Cause you were the air that I was breathing in, my greatest finish and my starting spin. You were the anchor holding steady the ship, every single word that passed my lip. Now I'm just a shadow of who I used to be, lost and empty, can't you see? Without your love, baby, without your light, you are my everything, my faded guiding light. I walk the halls of this empty, quiet home, a silent prison where I'm left to roam. Your favorite coat still hangs behind the door, but it doesn't smell like you anymore. The music plays the songs we used to share, each note a dagger, proving you're not there. I messed it up, I pushed you far away, and now I'm praying for a brighter day. 'Cause you were the air that I was breathing in, my greatest finish and my starting spin. You were the anchor holding steady the ship, every single word that passed my lip. Now I'm just a shadow of who I used to be, lost and empty, can't you see? Without your love, baby, without your light, you are my everything, my faded guiding light. They say that love can leave a nasty scar, but I didn't know how deep it was, how far. I trade my tomorrow for one yesterday, just to hold you tight and make you stay. I didn't know what I had until it left my hand, lost in a desert, a barren, empty land. time I started spin, you were the anchor holding steady the ship. Every single word that passed my lip. Now I'm just a shadow of who I used to be, lost and empty, can't you see? Without your love, baby, without your light, you are my everything, my faded guiding light, my everything. I miss you every night. Without your love, nothing feels right. You are my everything, my everything. Please come back. I can't breathe without your light. Fade out with a single lingering violin note. The screen door is still shivering from the way you let it go. I'm standing in the kitchen watching the garden light grow low, and I'm holding on to a world that you didn't care to fix. I watched your shadow lengthen as you walked down to the street. I was waiting for the hesitation, for the shuffle of your feet. I was waiting for the pause at the edge of the driveway line, for a moment where you'd wonder if you're really leaving mine. But you didn't check the mirrors and you didn't tap the brakes. You didn't give a second thought to all our old mistakes. The gravel kicked up dust that hung like a ghost in the air, while I was looking for a sign that you still might care. 'Cause you left without looking back, not even for a second. You walked into a future where I wasn't even reckoning. I was screaming with my eyes, I was begging with my breath, but you treated our forever like a quiet, easy death. No tear in your eye, no wave of your hand, just a cold, clean break across the center of the land. I'm still staring at the corner where you disappeared from view, but you left without looking back, like I was nothing to you. Yeah, you left without looking back. Keep thinking you forgot something, a book or a coat. Maybe you left a shred of mercy in a hidden folded note, but the drawers are all empty and the hangers are all bare. It's like you spent a month erased before you weren't there. How do you close a chapter without glancing at the page? How do you walk out of the lights and just abandon the stage? I'm replaying the exit, searching for a single flaw, a crack in your armor, a break in the law, then never mind. But the taillights didn't flicker and the engine didn't stall. You didn't even notice the shadows on the wall. You were already 1,000 miles away in your mind, leaving every I love you 100 years behind. 'Cause you left without looking back, not even for a second. You walked into a future where I wasn't even reckoning. I you disappeared from view. But you left without looking back, like I was nothing to you. Look back once, give me something to keep, something to prove that the us wasn't cheap. I'm a wreck in the rear view, I'm a fire on the hill, and you're driving away with an iron cold will. Was I that easy to leave? Was I that easy to lose? When you had a whole lifetime and a heart you could choose. You didn't even flinch, you didn't give an inch. Without looking back, you left without looking back, leaving nothing but the tire tracks on a lonely city street. No tear in your eye, no wave of your hand, just a cold clean break across the center of the land. I'm still staring at the corner where you disappeared from view, but you left without looking back, like I was nothing to you. You're gone, the road is empty, the dust has finally settled on the ground, and I'm the only one still looking around. You left without looking back. Not even once. I'm staring at the calendar, it's Monday, January 12th. I'm trying to find a version of a world without yourself. But the coffee's brewing for two, and the radio's playing our song. And every habit I built just tells me I'm wrong. I see your keys on the counter where you left them that night, before the shadows grew long and swallowed the light. I'm a ghost in this kitchen, I'm a breath in the hall, just a man watching pictures go cold on the wall. They say the world keeps spinning, they say life finds a way, but the sun hasn't risen since you walked away. I'm a map with no border, I'm a book with no theme, living in the wreckage of a beautiful dream. Because you were my everything, you were the air, you were the reason I'd wake up and care. You were the North Star when I was at sea, the only part of this life that felt real to me. Now my everything is nothing, and the always is gone. I'm standing in a sunrise that feels like the dawn of a storm. How do I breathe when the oxygen's blue? God, I'm so empty, 'cause my everything was you. I passed the park on 5th Street where we carved our names in the wood. I tried to look away, but I don't think I could. The world is moving forward, it's 2026 and it's loud, but I'm just a lonely shadow underneath the silver cloud. I still buy the groceries you like, the bread
end of the T, as if keeping your favorites could bring you back to me. It's a pathetic kind of haunting, a self-imposed cell, living in the memory of a love that I love too well. I'm waiting for the moment when the silence doesn't scream, when I don't see your face in every flickering beam. But the hole in my spirit is the shape of your soul, and I'm starting to realize I'll never be whole. Because you were my everything, you were the air, you were the reason I'd wake up and care. You were the North Star when I was at sea, the only part of this life that felt real to me. Now that everything is nothing and the always is gone, I'm standing in a sunrise that feels like the dawn of a storm. How do I breathe when the oxygen's blue? God, I'm so empty, 'cause my everything was you. I gave you my future, I gave you my past, I built up a kingdom I thought was meant to last. Now I'm the king of the ruins, I'm the lord of the dust, strangled by the memory of everything I trust. Take it back, take the silence, take the never again. I'd rather have the fighting than this quiet hollow end. For breath and you're just not there. You were the North Star when I was at sea, the only version of us that was meant to be. Now that everything is nothing and the old ways is gone, I'm just a ghost waiting for a light to turn on. How do I live when the world is so new? But my everything, it's 11:07, and the house is so still. I'm trying to find me, but I don't think I will. You just empty. You were my everything. Dinner's getting cold on the table for two. I'm sitting in the kitchen just staring at you, but your eyes are like windows with the shutters pulled tight, and you're miles away in the middle of the light. I ask how you're doing, I ask what you need, but you're a difficult book that I can't seem to read. The air in this hallway is starting to thin. I'm pounding on a door that you won't let me in.
It's 2026 and the world is so loud. There's a roar in the street and a noise in the cloud. But inside these walls it's a graveyard of sound, where the things that we were are now lost and unfound. You used to be music, you used to be fire. Now you're just a ghost on a rusted out wire. I take a scream, I take a slam of the door. Anything's better than this quietest war. I'm begging for a whisper, I'm praying for a spark, but you're a shadow moving through a permanent dark. The words are all dying on the tip of your tongue, and I'm the one choking on the air in my lung. Oh, your silence kills me, it's a slow motion blade, cutting through the promises and plans that we made. I can't fight a ghost and I can't heal a wall, and I'm terrified that you're not even there at all. It's a hollowed out ache, it's a deafening sound of a love that is quietly losing its ground. I'm screaming inside, can't you see the degree that your silence, oh, your silence is killing me. I remember the nights when we talked until dawn, but the bridge to that kingdom is broken and gone. Now we're just two strangers in a king-size bed, with 1,000 goodbyes that are better left unsaid. I saw you today as you stared at the rain, and I looked for a trace of the joy or the pain, but your face is a map with the ink all wiped clean, the most beautiful desert I've ever seen. Say something, hurt me, tell me a lie, give me a reason to stay or to fly. I'm drowning in a vacuum, I'm lost in the deep, and the secrets you're keeping are the ones I can't sleep. Tear the sky open, break the glass, don't just let the minutes and the hours pass. You're keeping all the ones I can't sleep. Tear the sky open, break the glass, don't just let the minutes and the hours pass. A steering high-pitched electric guitar so low that feels like a desperate cry. It uses long sustained notes that sound like they are struggling to break through the silence, before suddenly dropping back to a single piano note.